r/AskReddit by Redmond Dts. Cops who have arrested other cops. What happened? I was a dispatcher. The girlfriend of one of our cops came to the station to report that he had badly beaten her. Our guys got so pissed off. They arrested him and all turned their backs on him. A few testified against him in court. He lost his job, and I don't think anyone talked to him afterwards. He also ran a tax filing business. We all had to find a new place to get our taxes done. Didn't arrest another cop, but I gave the sheriff of the county a ticket for causing a crash. I was a city cop. My sergeant called our chief, and the chief pretty much said, "Good job, bud, keep up the good work." Call of drunk guy waving gun in back of taxi. Taxi drops guy at hotel near convention center, which is super, because now I have to get a team to clear it. Thankfully we quickly find the guy slumped in a hallway. Acquire gun, and discover he's a cop at a dairy cow city a bit away. Lodged him in county, and because he was a cop, I made sure the chief of his agency was notified the following morning. The cop was in town for a cop convention I hadn't even heard about. I arrested another officer from my agency after I pulled him over for having a stolen tag and found weed in his car. It went the same as any other arrest, except internal affairs met us at the jail to take what department property he had in his vehicle and ask him to submit to a drug test. I wasn't the arresting officer, but I testified against another officer for an excessive force incident. Both were convicted, and the process was no different than usual. Why the F was a cop driving around in a car with a stolen plate? He'd just bought the car and said he didn't want to drive around with no tag, so he picked one up out of his aunt and uncle's yard. When he said that, I thought he was lying about being a police officer, because that was the dumbest shit I'd ever heard. Military police, so slightly different, but my neighbor who was also an MP, tried to run over his wife after she beat him. He kept trying to get me to talk to his wife when he was in the base jail. His wife also kept bugging me to tell her husband how much she loved him. Domestic violence is weird. Federal Reserve Bank officer got drunk at a local bar and decided to mess with his younger neighbor also at the bar, who the officer recognized, but not vice versa. Kid, not drunk, walks out to his car, and the officer in his personal vehicle, equipped with a personal light bar, did a traffic stop in the bar parking lot. Kid was having none of it and called the guy and guy's wife out, like, "You're not a cop." So guy pulls this kid out of the car and starts assaulting kid, ruins kid's nice new clothes. We get there and end up placing guy under arrest for misdemeanor assault, driving while intoxicated, and impersonating an officer, as he was not licensed in our state and only an officer within the scope of his job duties. He spent the whole time berating us for doing him like that and not having his back as a brother in blue. We don't work that way, bro. He ended up pleading to the DWI to get the assault and impersonating charges dropped. Also ended up losing his job, and I'm guessing as a result of all this had to move, as I saw his house up for sale not long after. Sucks to suck. My buddy arrested another cop for driving under the influence. He got ran out of his department over the course of a year. He's a reindeer farmer now. When I was a cop some 30 years ago, only for 2 years, it wasn't my cup of tea. We had 2 from my department arrested. Drunk driving. Dude wasn't in our city and was at a .29, so they had little choice in the matter. He was suspended with pay for inpatient treatment. Since he couldn't drive for 6 months, they put him on the front desk. They spot checked him with a preliminary breath test before his shift once he was able to drive. Stalking. Dude was stalking his ex-girlfriend. He had been warned twice, which is something an ordinary citizen wouldn't get. The last time they caught him pounding on her front door while she was cowering on the floor in the bathroom with dispatch, terrified. Why do you think she left him to begin with? He beat her. But he was charged with aggravated stalking, suspended with pay, and terminated when he was convicted. So yeah, both got huge breaks. Edit. I forgot to add about the stalker domestic violence guy being warned twice outside his girlfriend's house. The second time a supervisor from our department driving 20 minutes over to meet the other department and him outside his girlfriend's house to tell him to let it go. That he wouldn't get another chance. The Blue Wall of Silence. The Blue Wall of Silence refers to an informal code among police officers in the United States that discourages them from reporting misconduct or crimes committed by their colleagues. That's all folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more. Have a nice evening.